Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We have special guests back with us. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about, could you handle being famous? And that's what we're going to discuss. And I'm just reading my notes here. So welcome and thank you for joining us, whichever country you are in the world. Our guests will be responding to the question, could you handle being famous? Could you cope with being a celebrity and all that comes with it? So let's introduce ourselves, starting with lovely guests.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Stella. I'm a multi-hyphen artist, and this is my other whole,
Nat Nye, the Lyrical Alchemist.
And we're so happy to be back on this show.
Yes.
Co-host?
Co-host Olivia Haltman, Transformational Coach, Counsellor, meditation teacher, and I'm happy to have them back again. Always good energy. So looking forward to see, what is going to come out today.
Yeah, so am I. I've dear audiences listening and watching, I've asked this royalty not to let me swear, so I can remain composed. First, I'll share my thoughts as a jump-off point to our discussion. So for me, I could handle being famous now, knowing what I know about various users and the different sectors that exploit gifted people, and depending on who I surround myself with. I keep thinking of Denzel Washington and his family for some reason. He seems to be respected, but not of, and other people who aren't on social media. I think that would be the key. But I know I would not survive if I became famous as a young adult, because my naivety would have just put my trust in those that do not deserve it, and include some that would lie for me for money or fun. That kind of just like sell. What's it called? If I wanted celebrity, I would have it. I know now I can own my gifts and talents, but it's who surrounds me and who reps me and who encourages me to read the small print. What's it called? This is going by professional feedback I have received within different industries. We'll talk about our backgrounds as well. Mine's broadcast media, TV producing, corporate business, and voluntary support, including a youth voluntary group Olivia and I and other team were in a long time ago. So my love for life, learning and helping people has made an impact, but limitations come with fame, as we know. So some examples, so to bear in mind and we can discuss later, we are expected to live within our means, yet our means keep being taken away. So to be fair, I can understand why people just want that fast paper now. Don't blame them. And it's just sold to us as the Mecca. So do megastars have true power if they speak objective facts about injustices in the world? I don't think they do. We could debate that. When you see celebs promoting like a domestic products, I'm always thinking, you not know how to save. Where's your money gone? Where's this big money on? That's one point. But commenters don't know where this money is going. That I'm seeing them selling. I won't name the products, but it's just funny to see a Hollywood stars selling me phone contracts. Or are your agents and hundreds of dependents spent it all for you? We are not allowed to age naturally. When someone passes, like in the award shows, the in memoriam, they only show their youthful self. I understand, but it's like it's usually the women they show in their youthful self. The guys are usually statuesque and can be elder. We're not usually allowed to be fully human when you have that star status. So, I mean, like natural body functions are not permitted in the upside down world of perfectionism, status anxiety, scripted reality. I'm sure these people fart. They are human. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I do not want my legacy just to be fighting, like, because of my skin color and my heritage, which I'm proud of. I don't want to become famous as a martyr. Like, God forbid that, or creator forbid, that a loved one is killed by police brutality. You know, my name remembered. Avenge me peacefully, but don't have my name in that. That's another legacy we can discuss. And that's systemic racism. Yeah. My legacy, I don't want to be admired for having a sex tape. You know who we're talking about.
Yes.
And looks that come before your ideas, your inventions, that, you know, and change-making policies, you know, or having fake fans who like your money and your contacts, but they don't like you. I honestly do not envy people like Beyonce and that level status. There's a freedom and there's a limitation, I feel. We'll discuss. Being a celebrity can be a high ransom to pay, and I've observed this from young. Some things I've read, like basically over the years, I've seen a lot of comments online that anyone who's in the entertainment business should not comment on politics, like actors, right? And I was thinking, okay, well, actors should not comment on politics, but why was Ronald Reagan president? Okay, to discuss, right? Okay, let me word this carefully. All right, some act like politics is theatre, playing with our lives, like we're in a world casino owned by lobbyists, NATO, IMF, WTO, BRICS, and cartels. Allegedly. Allegedly. Don't come for me. Right. Moving on. Meeting the world's unrealistic expectations that standard bearers themselves cannot meet. I just, it's like the kind of so-called geeks, which I embrace, revenging the cheerleaders, the jocks, like that ownership from fashion to everything like that. So breeding unnecessary competition, greed, insecurities in boys, girls, men and women. Yeah. I think it's just a lot of worldwide. Achievements only validated and rewarded by either being internet famous, creating beef, humiliation people and pranks for likes. It's just not my portion. It's just very, very disturbing to me. And like anything for brand endorsements. And honestly, I don't see anything wrong with that. You've got to earn your paper as long as it's not harming people and it's not limiting the variety of skills that they have. You know, the skills that should not just be maintained to pole dancing, hypersexualized stuff, and or using like fake allyship, using people as props. Either you've got the featured ethnicities in the front, but you can kind of always see them on the rest of us on the fringes, in the background, or some like kind of voiceover to make it hip and urban. And so all these money traps, basically, it's like, so there's billions of hardworking people are never independent. Dreams are kept out of reach deliberately by all kinds of money traps and scams that are sold as legit. But it's understandable to get paper by any means necessary. The fame lust and the glory hunting, but the negative is that it just creates, I just call them psychopaths, basically, because this is the cycle of murderous colonizers that are still causing holocausts worldwide, based on the lie of austerity, that there's not enough to go around for everybody. Lie. So to those who steal ideas, don't give credit to originators, but block or get to the patent office first. These kind of things, breeding unnecessary competition. Yes, we need competition, but not this for chasing status. That's what's disturbing for all generations. When they do, it's no one's business how they choose to spend their money. I just like think it's your money, do what you like. It's not of interest to me unless it harms people, I feel. Yeah. So we can debate what harmful or not. Things on like what comes on TV always gets me. When it says popular, is it actually popular? Who are you canvassing in your 5 people focus groups? Because popular usually means you've got the biggest budget and hype machine behind it. Stop saying popular. I mean, I like it. I've done this. I will give credit where it's due, but I will dislike something if I see certain people on it. Certain people that have been on roasts of different colours and status and are big and were racist. Anyway,
Yeah.
get that out. Industry is not allowing artists to have rest doing projects because one thing I watched. I know the name Nickelback, a big rock band. And I thought, as usual, let me watch something different. That's on my comfort zone. The way they explained it, they were big, so big, and then they were basically trolled for being too big. But then their fans were happy. Nickelback were happy with their music, and I didn't see what the problem was. But it's because they were talking jealousy. They were taking up too much space in the walls. But if you're happy and they're happy with their content and their output and creativity, what's your own? So this kind of thing is just like that competition is even narrowed down by the gatekeepers that you have to do certain things, and then the cancel culture. Nearly there. Millions in sales and critical acclaim, yet it's reported as a flop. What is this like 419? It is original 419. You have got billions. You keep talking about millions and billions, but you can't feed people. You can't invest in people. So nothing wrong with celebrity, amazing output. These industries, we need that escapism, but to what end is what I'd like to discuss. So that greed is never satisfied. Capitalist parasites feed off us and profit daily, which is alarming because they profit off us when we're alive and even more when we pass in that kind of work. So yeah, these are the things that come to mind. And yeah, that's it really. Some quotes, because if I could speak in song and lyrics, I would. They say it better. Irene Cara, fame, I will live forever. Baby, remember my name. Amazing. Bob Dylan said, and I only understand this now, you're going to have to serve somebody. When I was young, I'm like, I don't serve anybody. What are you talking about? Now I understand in business. And then, yeah, that's it, I think. So, yeah. Oh, last thing. So, Britney Spears, I'd like to discuss this as well in terms of fame. Okay. I remember seeing her shave her head years ago. And because I can't deal with the media circus and propaganda and lies, I wait for things for a few years. And then anything that's, in their words, done respectfully and with a timeline of an evidence, I will watch. So Britney Spears, when I saw her shave her head, I literally thought she was just taking control back of her own body. If I have no gorimapa, if I have no head, you've got nothing to judge. That's what I thought back then. Now we know it's about ownership, money, conservatorship, and all that. But your comments on that later. So I feel it's a person's right to choose whatever they want to do with their body, as long as it's not harming anyone and it's consensual. And if a woman wants to shave body or men want to shave body, that's their own. I think what makes me uncomfortable is when it's expected of us to get to our dream. And I get very protective of girls and women that have to be forced to do that. But yeah, that's it, because it can targets. That's it. And I just wanted to get you guys' opinions. So first of all, celebrity, could you handle being famous?
Can I just say that was excellent? I really enjoyed listening to that. I thought you covered so many different points. That was brilliant.
Oh, Blue, thank you. What do you think? Could you?
Yes.
Famous for what is the question? Is the question, because there's so much to unpick in terms of what you just read, and I could handle it if it was of benefit to my community and to our mission, because we got to play the game, but you've got to be in control of the game that you're playing as well. So it's a useful asset to be known but you've got to be known for the right thing. That's what I could handle, but I wouldn't want to handle, you know, half of the things or all of the things that we do see and witness with the celebrity now, with influencers. That's the new celebrity. I mean, understand that in this world we're living in, this Western world that we're living in, consumerism is the thing. They want everyone to consume, and to feel inadequate enough to want to continue consuming. And that makes these corporations grow larger. And when we talk of corporations, it's not only the brands that are like, you know, your utility brands, the things that you need, but the things that you don't need, like the Gucci bags and the Louis Vuitton, you know, all these brands that you're branding yourself with, and all these celebrities help encourage this lifestyle. And so I would not want to be famous for promoting. I wouldn't want to be a influencer that had to keep promoting these things that I know is affecting, you know, children in the Congo, or you know, what's happening in Palestine. All these brands that are, you know, in cahoots with these at government level doing all this stuff. So, you know, I want to filter what I'm saying as well, but yeah, it's famous for what? Like, yeah, it's an important part of the question.
That's true.
So if you would be famous for the thing that you wanted to be, what mindset do you think you need to have in order to stay focused? Because all of the things that Aleakwe obviously mentioned will most likely come on your path because of pressure and, you know, how they, you know, want to control everything. So what kind of mindset do you think you need to have to sort of deal with that? Because it's quite a lot, isn't it?
It is a lot, and you really do have to be mentally prepared for it. You have to, I think what you said, Aleakwe, about being more mature is key. A lot of the way that they take advantage of people is they get them really young. And so they're naive and they don't know themselves yet. When we're more mature, you have a sense of yourself already, you're grounded. And so you can, but I know at age your head can be swollen. Like you can get, you can get gassed and be like, oh yeah, you know, everybody knows me and all of this stuff. So I think it's important to kind of humble yourself regularly and kind of keep coming back to the main reason why you want this level of fame. Why do you want people to know you? What is it for? We've seen and witnessed that people are motivated by someone they've seen on their screens. They're motivated to spend more, to give more, to take their time and get a ticket and go to an important venue, an important event. And so even with Auntie Jeans, we know that if we are to get an Akala or Dr. Uma Johnson, or, you know, like someone that they know that's quote unquote famous, they're more likely to purchase a ticket and come and want to be there, even though the same message would be the one that is being delivered from if it wasn't someone that's famous. So it's important to access those people, invade people's spaces, utilizing quote unquote fame or influence. But yeah, you've got to stay grounded. You've got to humble yourself regularly. You've got to know that you're not better than anyone else. You just are. Maybe you've got some gifts that you need to share, and you need to be brave enough to do that, you know, and you are brave enough to do that. So then that's a good thing. So you have that platform, and it's not a given, it's a privilege. So you utilize it well and you humble yourself, remember what you're doing it for. That's good.
The other side to that as well is, because Stella said about being brave, I feel it is a brave position, because you have to accept the responsibility that comes with it. So everything Stella said, but additionally, when things turn, people can be really vicious against famous people.
Exactly.
And it's observable even before social media, but during the social media, it's like exasperated by how many times if a famous person falls out of favor, for whatever reason, sometimes it's not even their fault. Sometimes they're actually doing something quite righteous, and the comments against them will be relentless and vicious. So you have to be very mentally strong to be able to withstand that turn of tide. Like even with us, for example, we might do something on YouTube or whatnot, and I find it interesting, our psychology. You might have like 49 positive comments, but that one comment,
Exactly. Yeah,
there's that one comment that is just like horrible.
You focus on it.
Yeah, you hone in on it.
yeah,
It's like a million positive comments.
Yeah.
Just one.
It will disturb your day.
Yeah.
And you have to really have that mental fortitude not to, if it was the other way, there's loads of negative comments. Some people thrive with that. And even though those tend to be the ones who are who wouldn't make the list in terms of Aleakwe's the community notes, they wouldn't make it because they tend to do the bad behavior stuff, and they will have the loads of negative comments. But the one thing that I respect about them is their mental fortitude. Like, this is all the negative comments, but I'm still gonna do what I'm gonna do anyway. Like, it's that kind of, and I feel like you have to have that because I do, and like mental health does definitely affect the famous on, I think, in ways that is very much underappreciated. No one likes to see horrible things about them being said.
And that's why was one of the reasons I asked the questions, because regardless of everything that is mentioned, you need to know where you stand in here, because there is so much stuff is going to come to you and you got to decide where you're going to put your energy. But it sounds easy, and it's sort of easy, but you know, it's just like you said, like the one thing of all of the 1,000, if you focus on that, you just be on the floor, isn't it? But it's know yourself, as Stella was saying, like you need to know yourself, you know, on a specific level to fall back and sort of, continue the journey, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's so like, it's such a good question actually, this topic, because when I was younger, I definitely just wanted to be famous because of just seeing people that I idolized and wanting to be that, and then wanting to have that experience of what you would class as the love of so many people. And when you read about some of these famous celebrities and you really get into their psychology, it's a similar story throughout. Like, there are people that have had these gifts and everything, but also there's some sort of trauma, there's something that led to them wanting to have all that kind of love, you know, so they make certain choices that means that they receive a version of love from so many people and all the adoration, but then it becomes an addiction. It's like, you can never get enough of that. And those are the pitfalls of so-called fame. Like, and identifying love with fame is like, it's a wrong, it's not correct, but that's what the Hollywood has sold that dream from its conception. That's what it was for. It was to give another thing to consume. Look at all these stars that we've created for you, and you know, they're on this big screen, and you know, and then you have like a humble person having a dream of one day being like that. I want to be that loved. I want to be that adored. And it's kind of like 100 years on from Hollywood, right? It's about 100 and something years. It's just our culture now. It's what it is. It's like people aspire to be these almost godlike figures. Like you mentioned Beyonce, you mentioned MJ, Michael Jackson, you know, all these people, they become the new religion. Like, you know, can pack out whole stadiums of people like for 3 days in a row. And you've got like even Burna Boy, he's doing that now. Like but on your point of like the machine, where Burna Boy has come in kind of differently, is that he's kind of had it's the people that have chosen him rather than the machine making or forcing that. So there's a big mixture of both, but with Beyonce and all these other ones, it was definitely the machine fully behind them to put them in the platform. But Afrobeats kind of was really just the people have chosen this, and now they've had to say, okay, look, there's a space here for the mainstream for Afrobeats. They've had to let that go through because the people were gathering in numbers for this sound and this famous artists that are pushing it. So it's there are people that are naturally chosen to have that platform, and you know there's a pull towards them, and then there is that horrible version of it where the brands and all these other things are associated with them. Like we know Shingy from the Noisettes, and we know her story is she's one of those people that she's absolutely incredible to watch. You know, as soon as you have one of her experiences, you're a fan. Everyone, like all groups of people, all demographics, she's just so gifted. She's like our Nina Simone or mixed up with a Whitney Houston, and just the talent speaks for itself. But she was in the machine with the Noisettes, and then she witnessed firsthand how the machine operates. So she had all these brands that should have been for her, all these opportunities that should have been for her, that were gifted to or moved along to Pixie Lott. Pixie Lott, I think her name was. She's a white artist that was on the same label. So that machine was taken away from Shingy, is an African Zimbabwean British artist. So she rocked her natural afro. She was playing the bass. She had hits, and she was packing out the stadiums. But the impression you're going to get of the two people is that Pixie Lott was the one that was adored and was having all the fame, but that was because the machine was actually forced onto Pixie Lott and taken away from Shingy. So fame is not like, it's not real, as you're saying. It's actually an operation of who they're going to give the light, who they're going to shine the light on, and who, you know, they're not going to shine the light on. They still both had Shingy had more fans. Like Shingy in numbers numerically had more fans, but Pixie Lott would have more presence. So now she's the famous one and not Shingy. So fame is it's like it's a game. It's like, it's not real, you know. As soon as they're ready to take it away from you, that's it.
I do.
No, go on.
What comes to mind is the quote that Aleakwe said earlier about Bob Dylan, who do you serve? And essentially, are you serving the corporate, the brands, etc.? And normally those who serve them are the ones who are handpicked by the brands, the corporates, etc. Or are you serving the people? You have to serve one or the other. And if you're in a position of fame, you are serving. What is unfortunate is that in where we are at now, we have less people in those positions serving the people. Whereas before, you would have, even like say 100 years ago, you'd have Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey was famous. He was literally famous. He was known to millions around the world, and he served the people. And you have several examples of, like, Malcolm X served the people. Muhammad Ali was, at the time, in his prime, he was the most famous in the world, but he served the people. Despite being in the machine, he still had that people, that people behind him. He was very open and blatant about serving the people. Or Stella mentions Nina Simone, or if we like, there's so many different examples over the last century, actually, of people that were in positions serving the people. But in the last 20 years, I'd say, and last 5 years or whatnot, we've been ushered into the shadows. And then, if Stella mentioned in Shingy now, the Black British or the African in England story is even more, because we have so much talent here, so many people who should be in those positions. But the glass ceiling, as we all are aware of, in this country is like, it's that you can't even stand. Like, it's already hitting your head, and that's the nature of how they have it in this country. So it's ultimately, I feel like when it comes to can you handle fame? What Stella said in the beginning, what I agree with, is like, well, it's a part of our purpose. We're artists. So our whole role is to reach people. That's what we're meant to do. Otherwise, it's a hobby that we're sharing by ourselves for our own selves. But the fact that we go on the stage, the fact that we share our work means that we want to reach as many people as possible. That is literally our job. Like, we create for the purpose of gifting it to as many people as possible. So yes, but the responsibility is key. It's entwined with the purpose, and that is, I'm not going to put out work, or I'm not going to represent something that is derogatory or going to bring my people down, or represent something that is going to bring my people into a lower vibration of themselves, which is what a lot of these artists have been used, or artists, because some of them are not even artists. Some of them are literally not artists. They're doing it for the money. Yeah. And for the money, they are doing on multiple levels, low vibrational work to keep us in a ghetto state of mind. Whereas you have artists like us who have literally been held back in multiple different ways so that we can't do the work that is necessary for our people. So when you have that mindset, that actually does tick the boxes in terms of the mental fortitude and being humble, because my purpose and reason is not fame. I don't want to, it's not a desire to be famous in and of itself. It's, I've got a message, and that message is to enlighten and empower and to shift and change things in the community. And that is my role and responsibility as one who's got the gift of creating art. So therefore, I need to be quote unquote famous to do so. It's just when I'm in that position, how am I utilizing that position to be most effective rather than being used, which is often, because the other element of this, I'm going on a little rant, but the other element of this is the contracts that a lot of these famous people are tied to, which means they're reliant on the support of the system. So we find when any one of them who bites the hand that feeds them, that hand then basically finishes them by character assassination or actual, or just by taking the money away from them economically. But that money was never theirs because the contracts are heinous. They're horrendous. You see the music industry contracts, for example, they are obscene. It's gangsterism, actually. It's actually, like, Prince spoke on this and so many others spoke on it, but it is pure gangsterism. And one example I'll land with is, Lupe Fiasco, the rapper. Lupe Fiasco, he was, I think he was popular by the people. And he was the Kendrick Lamar before Kendrick. And he had his multifaceted music that broke the stereotypes. So his first big one was the kick push of the brother on a skateboard with the glasses. Like, that was a different image. And his own record label, so he was flying, his own record label weren't supportive of him at all. And he speaks on this, and basically they had a situation whereby he wanted to release his album, but they wanted to have hits on there. His fans protested. His fans protested the Atlantic Records for them to buy his album, and by that force, they allowed him to release the album. But that goes to show the difference between an entity that wants an artist to do their bidding. So I want you to put out hits that is basically going to be derogatory to your people and a consumerist base. And the people who are actually, I will pay you. And the record label saying, I don't want your money because the music that is coming from here is going to enlighten and boost you up and not make you a consumerist. So it's who you serving at the end of the day, really and truly. That's what ultimately comes down to.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very true. And it's not a rant, it's pointing out very solid points that we'd love people's opinions on and their realities across the different topics. I mean, our backgrounds, we work in different ways, but it's good in the real world. We'd love to hear about how you're dealing with corporate business, charitable, even in local governance, NGOs, frontline. And it's so brilliant points and insights. It's such a weird, God, you were right. When you guys talked about limitations and that kind of thing, it's such a weird thing, isn't it? To try and summarize, there's nothing wrong with escapism. Billions of people in the world, not everyone has access to Wi-Fi or TV. Not everyone even knows these celebrities. So when they're talking about international and worldwide, nearly 300 countries, you are only talking about, as Stella said, Western. It's such a weird thing. Escapism means escape from a reality, but the reality is, like Nat just pointed out, is, like I was saying, give people, inventors, pioneers, originators, creatives, business people room to breathe, room to land. You'd get the hits.
Mm-hmm.
You'd get everything, but exactly what Nat just said. There is no interest in that, even when the fans do rise up. It's such an interesting point. And I can understand the distrust, the love that Stella was talking about. And Olivia's right about the mindset. Oh my God. So you mentioned some people. So Olivia talking about the mindset, right? Nat talking about Muhammad Ali. Okay. From that to Beyonce to Cyndi Lauper, Lupe, my days. I used to listen. Lupe, Saul Williams, Immortal Tech, social media. Oh my, listen, I don't even have hero worship or shiro worship. I don't even like religion. But if these people opened a place of faith or a mega so-called church, I would reach. Because it's just speaking to our souls. They echo our souls. So going back to what you said, fame can buy you that freedom. It's not exactly financial freedom, as you said. But as you said, it's like a kind of like a Trojan horse. It's a Trojan horse but that won't stop us. I feel like things like Hollywood and corporate, for me, I am still surprised. Hollywood, for me, is literally a glorified wank bank. It just really is for me, because it's a studio system. Stella, you mentioned when Hollywood started. I can't remember, but Lumiere brothers were like they'd discovered photography or light and all that kind of stuff. I think it was end of 19th century. But Hollywood started out, please do your research, it's corroborated, first-hand voices, people who were there. Go and get the oral histories, whoever's watching. Men, if you don't agree or if you have other things. But Hollywood started out as a propaganda machine. Yeah. The whole thing was about propaganda and war.
Birth of a Nation.
W.H. Griffiths, thank you. That was the one. All this kind of stuff. And so it hasn't changed. Nothing has changed from BC. It's just we're kind of better dressed.
Yes.
So it's like and the different tactics of what Haltman calls legal criminality and his original 419. So basically, the escapism is great. The creativity. There were loads of people, as you said, Nat, brushed to the shadows. But I love that even within Hollywood and that glorified exploitation and all kinds of stuff, pimping out people, within that, there's still independents that are amazing storytelling. They're doing their stuff. The churn out of things that's fine for us. It's not in a big marquee theatrical release. You've got people doing your work in, how do you say, like the business showcases, things like that. People just doing their own thing.
Yeah.
No matter the adversity, we have each other to support. And we're billions strong. So I do love that. And Muhammad Ali, strong mindset.
Yeah.
Converted to Muslim. Islam, sorry. Was rolling strong in some ways, but he just scattered them. I love that.
Yeah.
Scattered them with NOI, all this kind of stuff on these talk shows. So my point is, you can still have a strong mindset and be gifted, and they can't actually hold you. It is actually possible, and this is why we're doing this kind of like talk. So I do welcome that. Lupe, oh my days, amazing. Thanks for the reminder. I'll be checking that out later. Yes. Other question then. You've talked about it. What you don't want. If you achieve fame, you talked about the coping mechanisms. You've actually answered the questions about what you don't want. Who are your, not role models, because you are your own role models, but who do you actually think that you haven't mentioned already? You've done it. You're not owned and you're big and it was on your own terms. You've mentioned some already. Who are your thoughts? I think Cyndi Lauper.
Okay.
I'm just like going for a mix of people. There's too many. My brain would list hundreds. But the ones that come to mind is Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah.
It's within her own right. She's just like no one is, you're not allowed to be different, but she held her own. Amazing songwriter. That's one.
Yes, definitely Erykah Badu. I was watching her interview yesterday on the Breakfast Club. She's been awarded some award for her fashion side of her. But what I rate about her is that she's fully herself and is iconic in her own right. But she's utilized touring, like she's at 8 months out of the year, she's touring, she's packing out shows. They're small, intimate spaces. They're not necessarily, a big stadium or anything like that, but she's going to sell out. She is able to look after her family. She employs her family. They go on tour with her. Her oldest daughter, Puma, is able to learn from her directly, learn all the skills and, explore what she wants to become, in terms of her creativity and, all of that. Not her oldest daughter, sorry, her first daughter. Her oldest is her son with Andre 3000. But she's just, I think that level of fame where she's recognizable, and she's got something to say, people are going to listen, and she can influence, but she is still very much against the norm. She doesn't comply
at all.
Or she doesn't have to, reduce herself or, and you see that authenticity within everything she is about. So I really rate her. Same with Solange Knowles, who's Beyonce Knowles' sister. It's the same sort of thing. I'm not here to release an album every year and be like on the machine, all of this kind of stuff. I do things in my own terms. It's my own sound. I'm exploring as a real authentic artist. And, I don't have 100 writers and do all of that stuff. I'm really, and now she's doing, interior design. Which is just different. Like all of the things she's producing are different. There's nothing that I've seen from her that anyone else is doing right now. It's like nothing that comes from her is expected, so like I like that kind of status where, okay, people recognize your name, but there's not this barrier or prison gate around what she's got to do. Like it's coming from her and it's going to be her, and if the people accept it, if they don't, she knows that it came from the place that she wants it to come from. So I like those two examples for sure. Those two women. Yeah.
thinking, and I think my current answer, I'm going to think about this like throughout the day, actually. I'm going to really think about this. But I think my current answer is probably going to be... okay, two. I've got two. Like, so Black Thought.
Oh, yes.
From Roots.
I love him.
Black Thought because I like the idea. Like, I feel like as time has gone on, and hip hop is a good example of this. Hip hop in the beginning, I said the first 20 years, you had loads and loads of groups, and now you only have individuals, really. Like the groups are more sparse, and similarly in the early decades of hip hop, you had far more woman representation at the mainstream level with full autonomy. So if they decide to be sexual, if they decide not to be sexual, like
it's up to them.
Yeah, it's up to them. Like you had so different. So those two elements of hip hop, and I feel as time, like hip hop's just an example of how society is as a whole. Collective movements is always stronger than any solo or any individual. So Black Thought being a part of a collective is something that I identify as something that is quite strong and has, as a lyricist and as a pro-Black lyricist or a Pan-African lyricist he being around a group or whatnot, or being a part of a group has helped the strength of him. And being what, I think he's around 50 now, or he's in the 50s or whatnot, like him as an artist, showcasing his repertoire of skills at his age proves that art is literally a craft that you develop over time. Like it's not something with our art form, they try and make it akin to sport. So, if you're above 35 years old or something like that, or you're above 40, you've lost your prime, and that don't make no logical sense. And Black Thought is one of those ones breaking that. He's actually getting better and better and better now. In fact, over the last 5 years, he's putting out stuff that is just like. But what I like about why this is making me think a lot is because what I'm passionate about now is making change. So I've been saying recently, I am the Windrush. And that's obviously, Marcus Garvey looked for me with, I'm the Windrush. I'm the Windrush, sorry, I'm the whirlwind. I'm the whirlwind. Because oftentimes life will make you feel like I'm in a whirlwind. And now I'm like, actually, I am the whirlwind. I am, and I'm looking to be that force in wherever we step, be that force, be the whirlwind. And what I like about Black Thought and the Roots is that they're doing stuff within the fortress.
Yeah, like
they're doing stuff within the fortress. So the what's his name? The Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon. They do stuff with Jimmy Fallon. They're the band. The resident band. Yeah. So they do stuff.
House band.
The house band.
Yeah.
The house band. But they have their Roots picnic, and it's I think it's a 1 day festival. Could be more. Maybe 3 day festival. And that is something I'm element that I'm very on right now in terms of economic empowerment, circulating that, in their case, the black dollar. Here it would be the black pound. That was just circulating that money amongst us. So as an artist, I'd love to create a festival that is doing exactly that, like just circulating our money amongst us. And so I'm inspired by that. And with there was another thing to do with Black Thought.
So his music, him as an artist.
Him as an artist.
Player, or is that Root? Is that
that's Questlove.
That's Quest.
That's Questlove. Yeah, that's Questlove. But somebody did just flash across my hat and
and him as a group. You said he was in a group.
In a group, yeah, as a collective power force. Okay, I can't remember the last thing with Black Thought, but
it will come to you.
It will come back, yeah. The other one is, for similar reasons, is Fella.
Okay.
So Fella, he created the Calcutta, which we went to.
Yes.
And it's not, you know.
What's this? Elaborate. Sorry, so we can catch up.
Right.
The shrine. So
yes,
Fella.
This is where what's it called? My ma said that basically there was my father, and I may have been conceived.
Oh, what?
Not in the shrine compound, I beg. It was just basically when they dated and they had a good time.
Wow.
I followed years later.
Wow.
There's a lot in our past lives. It was the first time I'm using it, but I fully understand. And sorry, before we say anything else, I need you guys to actually contact these people that you like. And I want to see you guys, you belong on those kind of shared platforms, live and sharing as well as starting your own here. Sorry, carry on. About Fella. This is Fella Ransom Kuti.
Yes.
What's it called? Unofficial but beloved president of Niger in West Africa, where there are 54 countries in Africa, just for those who don't know, on that continent. And basically amazing bloodline, family, mother, everything. So yes, it's our distant uncle to all of us here. Sorry.
Yes.
Nat.
No, don't be actually. That's an even extra reason why now. Yeah. Why?
One day we'll all go there. One day.
So you like the fact that he had many wives as well?
I did like the fact that many wives.
Look at this. Listen.
Go there, Stella. Did you have to go there?
Listen.
Of all the people he could have chosen.
The thing is, you must stop me, because this is a separate video that we will do, because I've been shooting another video with a different guest about the wahala and the informal polygamy and the 27 wives and all of that legacy and the sexism and misogyny, but we all have our good and bad faults.
Yeah.
I still would elect him.
Yeah.
If he wanted to stand, but Nat, Stella spoke what we were thinking, but continue.
That was a small print. I didn't expect the small print to be written, but obviously I'm with Stella, so she's going to read the small print first. She read the small print first and highlighted it. But what I like about Fella is yes, you said it, Aleakwe, the president element. President element. And that means I'm not just a musician. I'm not just doing this for you to have a good time. I'm not doing this. This is for a purpose. He understood that music is a weapon. And he lived that. And the way the government treated him showed how serious a threat they saw to music and his influence and his power. And what I enjoyed about him as well, there's a video I'm yet to watch, actually. I need to watch it, where the title of it is basically Fella chose not to sign a record label the deal was like something X million, and he chose not to, and that would have been a difference. The way I see it is kind of like Bob Marley going down Island Records and signing, and Peter Tosh not. And that's not a criticism of Bob Marley, because I love Bob Marley. And Bob Marley, it's just the nature of this world, it's kind of things you have to do. Bob Marley not signing that means that we don't know Bob Marley today on that same level. Like, we might know, but the rest of the world does not know Bob Marley. Like, people don't know Peter Tosh. And even Fella is not as known. Fella should be Bob Marley. It should be like, Fella is that. He is literally that. Multi-instrumentalist. His music was amazing. It touches us today, several decades after. So Bob Marley signing that, I'm not saying. The only thing is, I was talking to a actor director the other day, and he has a show on BBC, and he was saying that, bro, you know, behind the scenes. So he wanted to get Peter Tosh and Bob Marley music. He said Peter Tosh, the family were like, it's BBC. Well, you're gonna have to pay for that. You're gonna have to come up with a contract that works for us. Bob Marley was it was easy because he wasn't dealing with none of the family members. He was just dealing with Island Records. And what we do know about Bob Marley is that his oh my days, it's so bad. His first wife, Rita fought to get some sort of legal ownership over the name, and for in the years after the first few years after his death, his family were poor, and that's because even though there's money and fame there, this is what I was alluding to earlier. The control of that money is in somebody else's hands.
Yeah.
So, in fact, Aleakwe said earlier about they make money after your death. So, fella, not signing the deal, I want to look into it because that might have protected the asset of what he created, his intellectual property, which has benefited his sons and his children and offspring till this day. It might have, so I just need to look into it. But what I liked about what he was doing is that he created a political force from his music and his shrine. That's another one of my dreams. I would love to have the shrine where our people can come to and we can enjoy ourselves with no what we suffer here. This summer, for example, we've been to a few black events where they, or October, they give us a few little things. And then when it hits 9 o'clock, so it's 6 to 9, this is for black people. It hits 9:00, get out. It's pretty much out. Went to Christie's. Christie's had this black thing going on, arts exhibition, whatever, 3 hours. At 9:01, we're seeing artists carrying their artwork out of the place. And I don't enjoy that. I don't like it. When we have our own space for us by us, we are people that love to spend time with each other. If we need to be up till 3 a.m., let us be up till 3 a.m. Whoever wants to go at 4, whatever, we ain't got that time constraint of just get out and so I like the idea of the shrine, just the community vibes that he created and sourced in Africanness. So
yes, sir.
Fella is definitely, yeah.
I like that. My husband actually has always talked about this. He would love that kind of, it's about everyone putting whatever kobo penny together that they can afford. It's for everybody, but about ownership of property and land. I mean, the hoops, the hurdles, so that you cannot take roots, yet they can take roots elsewhere. This is beyond skin, but we know who the usual colonizers are, who can want to take root elsewhere, and they choose anywhere. But Jay was always talking about owning a building, do whatever you like, and what you talk about. So, first of all, Olivia, is there anything that you wanted to add?
I just wanted to drop in chaos as well. I like the hip hop history part because that's a big one in regards of like just doing what you need to do. And KRS-One is one of the people who just keeps on spitting like very deep stuff, and he keeps on doing it. He doesn't care who's like if he has a contract or not, So I just want to drop him in. Just very quickly. And all the hip hop, like the back in the days, old school hip hops, Black Thought, I love him. He's so amazing. I saw him this weekend, this summer. It's like madness. But yeah, so I just wanted to throw that one in, KRS-One, because he's what he's doing.
Big. Yeah. Originator. I haven't got a pen and paper to remember stuff, so bear with me as I delve into the archives about, because of our amazing brains. Okay. Those limitations and that kind of thing, I understand why we're encouraged in terms of study, all the subjects, business, citizenship.
That was brilliant.
Forgive me, I'm tired.
I said Windrush earlier and I meant whirlwind, so.
Oh,
and I like that phrase. I love our people's vocab and inventions. Okay. Limitations, foundation for knowledge. I love that. It should be lifelong learning, learn different things, understand each other. So I get that. And I'm not sure whether it was Stella or Nat that mentioned something that I thought of. The injustice that comes with people not being given credit where they're due. People like, it's been done now, but I've always wanted insights into things like those that had the ideas. I mean, I'm guessing not all ideas are new. It's who reaches the goalpost to the patent office first.
Right.
IP or stuff. I've heard loads of stuff and it's being repeated. And I'm just going to remind myself, yeah, millions of people had the same thought. The gist is just different. I love it. But the ones that blatantly get stolen from,
the
one for me is I've always background vocalists, but basically carry the whole thing.
Yeah.
So this is what's known as, and I just think you were talking about people like, let me just think. I can't remember the proper names. I'm really sorry about this, but who's the main one? CNC Music Factory. I'll remember the names later. CNC Music Factory. Dance No More. Black Box, Ride on Time. The effery behind these examples of a powerful vocalist that is replaced, Milli Vanilli.
Oh, yeah.
All around the world, but these are our reference points. They're well known. The injustice, like you said, of families being poor. And you don't even give small credit.
Yeah.
You don't even change it. It's that good. But you can't give small credit or even money. You wouldn't have it done to yourself, but people easily do it. And I'm glad some are getting royalties now.
Yeah.
But the injustice. And some have been recognized in the Hall of Fame. But it's this kind of thing is the downside of celebrity and fame, because it's like, okay, by any means necessary, cheat, do this. But then you're rewarded for doing it.
Yeah.
In terms of scripted reality, in terms of politics, lie. What's the new thing? So it's called not fake news or woke. It literally says what it is, woke. But then it's attacked. You're attacked for telling objective facts.
Yeah.
Or you go and seek justice or reparations for what is yours as a business person, as a creator, as what's called frontline worker. The frontline workers in all sectors, youth groups, all this kind of thing, healthcare, support workers, there is money and it's not given. So it's no wonder that the brain drain in all sectors worldwide. I don't blame people for wanting easy money.
Yeah.
The thing is, let's see ourselves in 10 years' time, looking back on this and reaching. I am happy where I am. I'm by the sea, I'm with my family, I'm in semi-retirement, protecting my health. But you guys, I believe, I know better is coming, greatness will evolve. But
is it also you?
It's cracking
It
up.
might be us.
Oh, it was you for a second. And it was Stella and Nat. With powerful connection spirits, but the Wi-Fi is failing us. And me stood still thinking it was me.
Okay.
So yes, the downside of fame, but the whole thing is being positive. Chase, it doesn't have to be a dream. Chase your reality positively. Please cut loose anyone that shoots them down. If you're not harming anybody, the world needs you. Yeah. Ask, reach, search properly, go beyond your comfort zones. And yeah, do you guys want to last words on celebrity? Go for it.
Yes, there was the one that was slipping through and it just come back. Yeah, it wasn't Black Thought. Chance the Rapper. I like what Chance the Rapper is doing with his Black Star Line Festival. And that is something...
I don't know about this. What's about this?
So basically, Chance the Rapper, his journey is very interesting, actually. It's very, very interesting. He was marketed, when he first came out, it was marketed as one of those new independent artists. But when you actually dig deeper, then you find out actually the same, you know, it's just not the banner of being signed, but whatever. Anyway.
What was it? It wasn't self-made downloads and all that.
No, because he's got a parent that was, his parent is a politician.
Yeah.
So he had links.
He's got connections. And it's just,
and, you know.
It's kind of like when you dig deeper behind Grime Daily or SBTV or any of them, you find like actually who's behind them, you know. But on the surface of it, it seems like it's black. But with Chance the Rapper, on the surface of it, it was independent, but really it's the same entities behind the scene. Anyway, that's just a truth. I got to speak the truth. But nevertheless, his artistry was different, and he was alternative as well. Like he comes from that branch of alternative
baby
artists. Yeah,
old school Kanye.
Old school Kanye. Yeah. Pre-Kardashian card, Black Thought line.
Yeah.
We're talking Kanye and Hurricane Katrina Kanye, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, kind of like he came out of the limelight for a bit and then he came back and with this Black Star Line festival and this
in Ghana
and this Black Star Line lyrics and rapping about basic Pan-African rap, Chance the Rapper, and that was like, well, see that coming because we did.
Hooked up with
Vic Mensa.
Vic Mensa, another rapper.
Yeah.
So
he's good.
Part Ghanaian. Yeah, he's part Ghanaian.
Yeah.
So yeah, all of these people that were like, we didn't know they were even on it like that. Like, So yeah.
So Chance the Rapper, he's got this Black Star Line Festival that happens in Ghana
at the end of the year, so
at the end of the year in December. Yeah, it happened last year. It happened the year before, and I just love that. I love that. Like I love what he's doing. And the fact that he's called it Black Star Line. Like he knows what he's doing. He's connecting the dots. No. So it's a Pan festival.
It's just because always, as one of my BBC mentors taught me, for those we don't know everything. We all share the answers. For those who do not know, as Nat mentioned earlier, one of the reference points was the Honourable Messiah Garvey and his wife Amy
Jackson, Amy Ashford.
Yes. Please go and read about it. They'll check the playlist. We'll link them to Out of Noise and Stella and Nat's YouTube pages and content, and they talk about these amazing figures. Black Star Line comes from that. So even though I wanted to wrap up, I'm going to ask you this question to the three of you. This is in one of another video, I'll link it. But this is about, so Ghana is more kind of go-getting when it comes to homecoming. The diaspora of people of African descent and those who want to actually represents.
Yeah.
So I'm just choosing words carefully. There's some quality output, and we all borrow from each other over the centuries. The foundation is African. Drum and migration patterns with the trade winds. So the question is, yes, talented, gifted artists, business people, bringing back, exchanging. Is it their idea?
Oh, breaking up.
It's breaking up.
Or is this a Trojan horse for? Am I?
Yeah.
Is it a Trojan horse for another money making and takeover of the continent? Or do you think examples? Because there's positive ones from Issa Rae, Yvonne Noji, all these people, an African city and bridging the continents and heritage, but I'm noticing more and more, but should the continent fear a takeover in terms of money, and then you find it 10 years down the line repackaged like they repackaged Ankara and a tie on the catwalk?
It's definitely something that the Africans should be very on it with, because you can never relax when it comes to capitalism, essentially, which is what the West has brought Africa, capitalism. We are less and less socialist in terms of how we behave, even our culture. Culturally, we were more on the continent, we were more community orientated, and if you tune in, I tune into my uncle, he's always tapped into like the Nigerian feed on his phone or on device. You'll hear the comedy and different things, and more the podcast, I'll hear this very Western voices with our accent. So it's like they're talking in ways that just doesn't match how we are, like our roots. Like I remember him hearing one thing where the guests were talking about, oh, not every time I'm at home, I want to see you just pop around my house and come in and da 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 da. I need my space. And talking about all this, it was so Western. It was just the voice didn't match. We are people that do have, yes, unexpected guests, but when they come, it's like, yeah, come and meet me well. I'm cooking this. Let's pull up a chair. Let's be not this individualistic, I want my space and the kind of language thing. I found it so British, and I feel like I don't want to go off, but we have to be wary of is like, with these things that are coming into Africa, with these huge kind of projects, who's at the root of it and who benefits? Is it our people benefiting? Are we going to see just our diaspora turn into the new colonial masters if we're not conscious that we're doing it? And if we're not putting the environment first, are we just going to bring that continue with the pollution that is happening, already devastating pollution that is happening? Are we going to add to that problem? Or should we come with a mindset that's already looking at reversing all of that stuff? We can do that. We can change the mindsets and influence people to be more mindful about not becoming exactly what we can see before our eyes is destruction from the West. We don't want that continent. We don't want that in the Americas, like South America and all these places where we still have incredible landmass and beauty for the environment, and we still have our people there who deserve better, who deserve the highest quality of life. So it's just to be aware, like, that we don't just come and eat and then we're not actually bringing anything to the people, just using the resources. And
it's such a valid point, because the whole thing is, so to be on a positive note, I do believe that it's such a weird thing. Even in our DNA, no matter where you are, there are some things inherited in our behavior and our character. Exactly what Stella was saying. I still cannot cook small pots. I still cook big pots, because you have something ready. Even if you don't have too much, in case someone comes, there's food ready. There's a pepper pot, there's Eon, there's something, there's jollof, whatever is there, you just make it. So it's these kind of things, and I love it, because the sustainable collaboration, amazing things have happened in all sectors, and it evolves and it gets amplified. But the comment for me, and the question came from year in, year out, over the decade, you will see comments and people discussing that kind of worry. But they don't take out people in countries, are you local? And they'll be like, even if you're of the same family, we talk like this. It's the locally acquired accent and weaves make the biggest appearances, and have the biggest budgets in our amazing home movies. We're amazing storytellers, business people, and agriculturists. So I am for sustainable collaboration, but understandably, people are tired of, or there's still the good fight, but others are tired of, the little means, but they take it out on each other.
Yes.
And but they, there's all kinds of, thankfully, people rising up. What's there to lose? You've taken everything else. We'll continue the fight. We cannot fight the good fight, but it's just very funny. It's just very funny. So good luck to anybody. The bright continent. Has always been there for you and in you, but it's about ownership. Don't go there and take. Share. Collaborate. That's the whole kind of thing. So it doesn't have to be fame, fortune. You be famous in your own compound. You can be internet famous, and you have celebrity. Even it's not just area boys and Yahoo boys, 419 and Prince scams. Look outside your window in all the countries in the world. Scam. Bully. So please, the reason about this division is because they don't want you to reach and be free. Okay, it's all of these countries. There's Polynesia, there's all these places. There's if you can get past the propaganda, if it's possible. Okay, second call about wrapping this up in fame. I don't want it. That's my final thing. I'm happy encouraging others to be famous and do protection prayer. Better come in. You guys?
Yes, no, I want to reach as many people as possible. So I definitely do.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
Olivia?
I want to, but in the background, because there's a lot of people who are famous in the background. So that's what I'm going to choose. I still, spread what I need to spread. The message can still come through if I'm not visible, to say it like that, a little bit visible.
Olivia's doing amazing background artist work in her diverse skills, as Nat said, repertoire skills. To be honest, I can't help but be honest. I'm hoping for celebrities, the background artists that are like spooking the door. Go look it up. Check out playlists. There's different ways of making positive change. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for another inspiring chat.
Olivia, thank you for your time. Peace out, everybody. Look after yourself. Stay strong.